In this video, I wanted to demonstrate to you how to use the excellent resource we have through our libraries, which is their databases. So, first thing we have to do is go to the library. And what I want you to do is, rather than put your search term in the generic search engine here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Find Resources. And you'll see what it pops up here is we can browse journals, find a database, find by citation, subject guides, textbook, books and course materials, other catalogs, special collections. What we want to do is find a database. Now there are several databases that we can use in anthropology, but the one that I find has kind of the widest range of access to journal articles is JSTOR. So that's one I recommend. Or you can scroll through and you can see that there are some anthropology related ones like Anthropology Plus. Like I said, I like JSTOR, so that's the one I recommend students use. If you can't find something using JSTOR, then chances are a peer-reviewed publication doesn't exist. Okay, so I put JSTOR in the database title. Now I'm going to click on the database, and it's going to open up this window here, which is the JSTOR Advanced Search menu. Okay, so depending on what your research topic is, you can put in your keyword here. So you can see that this is some that I've looked at before. So for some of my classes, I'm having you do research on a site, so you could put the site title in here. In other courses, you're looking at a method, so you could put a method in here. Why don't we go with something like a method, and let's say that at the site you've selected or for the method you've selected to look at is something like, oh no, radiocarbon dating is going to have too many. We need something a bit more obscure. Let's go with, how about palynology? Okay, so you can see that palynology, and it's going to be in all fields, right? So this means it's going to look at the abstract, it's going to look at if there's like a table of contents associated with it, it's going to look for authors, it's going to look in all the different fields that are present, including the body of a journal article to look at it. You could always put a second keyword as well. So if you really want to be specific and there was a particular site you could put at, so if you want to do palynology because you're interested in how it's been used for subsistence, that's another good way to put. Make sure that your content access type is content I can access. That's really critical, because if you have it set at all content, then you might just get abstracts for a paper that sounds really exciting, but then we don't have access to it at our university, and now you have to look at some of the workarounds to find it. We want articles, so we're going to select just on that. For languages, if you are not fluent in any more than English, I recommend that you just pick English. For those of you who are looking at a recent methodology, you might want to narrow the publication date down a little bit, so maybe the last 20 years or so. If not, you can just leave it open. And then what we want to do, and this is kind of the critical step, is where you can see here it says journal filters. You want to narrow by discipline, right? So this is how you make sure that you get stuff that's going to be related to archaeology. And you can see that under archaeology here, so we're going to click that, there's 119 titles. So that means that there are 119 archaeology journals that will be automatically searched as part of this advanced search. I like to be a little bit cautious when I'm doing kind of a broad scope kind of pull for articles. So I might click anthropology as well, because as archaeologists we publish in anthropology journals as well. And there might be other ones that might be applicable. So those of you who are looking at things in the classical world might want to pick classical studies. That's where you might want to find. Of course, we don't want to collect or click on botany and plant sciences, because that will give us tons of references for palynology, but absolutely not related to archaeology. So let's just stick with just archaeology, because that's what my courses are this term. And that's still a lot of journals, 119 that's going to access. And now I can go up to the top, and if I'm satisfied everything's there, I'm going to click on Submit Advanced Search. And what we find here is that we now have 450 search results relating to palynology and subsistence within archaeology journals. Okay, and you can see that they range from, this is a late Bronze Age site. It doesn't say in the title, it says the Antrim Plateau, so I don't know where that is. Here's pre-Columbian American Southwest. Here's one from New Mexico. And so you can scroll through, oh, here's one from Ireland in the late Middle Ages. So again, we can narrow it by region as well. So you can go search within results. We could add in a region. And let's say that I am only interested in, how about Mesoamerica? And now what this will do is it will hopefully look for those that are only relevant to Mesoamerica. It looks like it didn't change. Oh, I think I have to go to modify search. Anyway, so I can go back to modify search. You can see that it keeps us here. So let's add a search box and let's add Mesoamerica. Okay, and now let's go back to advanced search and let's see if this narrows it down. So before, you'll remember we had 450 some articles. Now we're down to 131. And again, I can continue to further refine my results if I have a particular site I want to look at, or if there's another method. Maybe subsistence isn't hitting the notes, the kind of articles I want. So maybe I'd use a different term like dietary reconstruction, or even just diet or food. Maybe if palynology isn't working, I want to look for something else. So this is how you will find peer-reviewed journal articles for your assignments and your other work this term. So I hope this was helpful. Should you come across an article that you really want to look at, that you cannot just simply download a PDF for and access the full content, please don't hesitate to contact myself. Sometimes I can find it through my connections at other universities, and you can always use the hashtag ICANHasPDF, please. Here, I'll type that in the search here. If you sometimes put that on social media, you can also have people at other institutions will email you their PDFs. The last way that you can sometimes access material that isn't available in our database is to email the author. So let's say that I want this article, A Mosaic of Adaptation, the Archaeological Record from Mesoamerica's Archaic Period. If I go into the article, even if I don't get the full article, it will show me who the author is, and I can contact him. And if I go into the article itself or in the abstract, I can sometimes find his contact information, which is usually provided at the bottom of the first page. So you'll see here it says Robert M. Rosenwig. And then at the bottom here it says that, oh, he is, or at least at the time of this publication, was at the Department of Anthropology, the University at Albany, SUNY, which is State University in New York. And then, oh, here's his email right here. So I could email him and just say, hey, Dr. Rosenwig, I'm a student in this course. I was wondering if I could get a copy of this article. If they don't submit or send the PDF to you, often they can submit what are called the pre-publication proofs, which are like the almost final version. They're usually not very pretty, but it's like a Word document, but then you'll still have the content that you need. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful, and good luck with finding resources for your assignments.